Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored Never Boring. Today, you join me at my workstation because we are going to unbox a couple of Reaper Bones plastic miniatures. I have been playing Dungeons & Dragons now for a little while, and we are getting close to the end of the Lost Mine of Phandelver starter set, and we're going to be moving on to a campaign of my own design. However, one of my players has expressed an interest in being a dungeon master for one evening as a one-shot. And that's fine by me, because it gives me a chance to be a hero for a change, rather than all those bungling NPCs and nefarious villains. So I was thinking, for a one-shot, what kind of character would I like to be? And I like werewolves. I'm a big fan of werewolves. So I thought I might try and be a shifter. Now, a shifter isn't a werewolf as such. It's a humanoid character who is somewhere between a human and a werewolf. Sort of an animalistic human who has the capacity to enhance their animalistic traits at certain points to gain advantages. So I was thinking I would try and be maybe a long tooth shifter. Now, I play with miniatures. I don't do theatre of the mind. I am a miniatures collector. I'm a miniatures painter. And I come from a background of board games. So miniatures are important to me. But I couldn't really find a shifter miniature. There are some in the pre-painted Dungeons & Dragons line, but they are generally not very nice. So I started looking around and thinking, what could I use that would represent this sort of animalistic human? And I happened upon this miniature from Reaper Bones. It is Rogan, who was actually advertised as a half-orc. And certainly has a half-orc sort of look. He actually almost has a full orc sort of a look. But I really liked the miniature, and I thought it would be a good fit for the kind of shifter character I might like to play. And I've never bought any Bones miniatures before. These are the Dark Heaven Bones miniatures from Reaper. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to pick some up and have a look at them on camera. I have bought Reaper miniatures before. I've bought a couple of their metal miniatures. In fact, I have just over here. I have one of their metal miniatures, a really lovely wizard miniature. I think it's called like Quill Scratch or something. But this is a metal miniature. Which I have actually painted in a previous video. So I know that the sculpts for Reaper miniatures are nice, and I do like them. But obviously that's a metal miniature, and Bones use the soft plastic, so I wasn't entirely sure what to expect, having never seen them before. So let's open up this guy and have a good look. Here he is. He has a moulded scenic base. There is no round base for him, and this one was from 2014 apparently. Very rubbery, lots of bend, but the detail's pretty good. Good musculature there, some evident mould lines, quite clearly not made to the highest standard, but Bones miniatures are supposed to be kind of like a cost-effective miniatures line. They're supposed to be, you know, your good generic fantasy miniatures that you can use for different stuff. Pretty nice cloak. Again, not the nicest place to have a mould line running across deep grooves like that. And you can see there's different points where suddenly the detail just flattens out. There's a gnarly bit on his... I thought that was a finger, but it's not. It's just a gnarly bit of plastic that will need to come off. But overall, it's a nice miniature. It's a nice sculpt. It's a nice stance. He's dual wielding his short swords or daggers. And it's not an over-fussy miniature. A lot of Games Workshop miniatures, for example, tend to have huge amounts of detail on, and sometimes the pose and stance of a miniature can get lost beneath all the bits and bobs. But this is a very strong, it's got a very strong shape and not too much clutter, which also means should be relatively easy to paint. And quick painting is what I am all about. Speaking of painting, the back of this box doesn't really say anything about painting. It says there's some painting tips, tricks, hints and fun at the Reaper Mini forum. However, I bought a second miniature, which I will show you in a moment. And on the back of this box, it says they are ready to paint, no priming necessary, which is good. And it says, please note, spray primers are not recommended for Bones miniatures. So I am glad that I picked up this second miniature, because there is no mention of that on Rogan's box, and I don't know if that's because this miniature was 2017, it's a later miniature, so maybe that's something they started doing afterwards and it isn't relevant for this one. I don't know. I might have to look into that. If somebody can illuminate me in the comments, please do so. But anyway, nice miniature, and I think he's going to be a decent substitute for a shifter for whatever gets thrown at us in this one-shot adventure. The second miniature I picked up is a Chthon, and there's a very specific reason why I picked this miniature up. I've just noticed that they name the artist on the front of the boxes. This is K. Williams, and this one was T. Manor. That's quite nice. It's nice to give a shout out to the artists. But yeah, this one was purchased for a very specific reason. I am intending to do a bit of a conversion with it. Now, I don't really want to talk too much about the conversion I am planning at the moment, because it is for the campaign that I am running, and my players may watch this video, and I don't want to give them any particular information about what they might be coming up against. But this is the basis for something that I am planning. And I will be doing a video on my attempts at doing a conversion for this miniature. But for this particular video, let's just look at it as a Chthon. And again, it's nice detail, strong shape, good sculpt. These mandibles, I guess, are a little bit boring. There's not a lot going on there. I think they're supposed to be like claws or fangs or mandibles, but I mean, they could be like tentacle-like appendages. It's hard to tell, really. It's got a nasty vertical mouth thing going on inside with teeth. It's an unpleasant-looking gribbly. Again, no base. It's got a built-in bit of scenic base, but no round base for it to attach to. I guess that's something that Reaper miniatures do not include. But it's quite nice, and I think I paid £2.80 each for these, and postage was included. So, you know, at those prices, to be able to pick up single miniatures that fulfill a specific purpose for your campaign, can't really complain, really. So there we go. One Chthon and one half-orc who's possibly going to be a shifter for me. Run away! You gotta make your own fun sometimes, haven't you? I hope you have found this little look at Reaper Bones interesting. Like I say, I had never bought any before, so this was something that was new to me, and I thought I would share it. Thank you very much for watching. If you've liked the video, please consider pressing that like button. If you have really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so, and hopefully I'll see you all again very soon, when I might be trying to do a little conversion on this guy. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.